Hi everyone, this video is to explain homework number 2. So for this homework assignment, you're going to be doing several different tasks. None of them are particularly difficult, but it is a little bit more complicated than some of the other homework assignments we're going to be doing. So you're going to be using information in your play, The Pathway from Theory to Practice text. You're also going to be able to use information in our Observing Play and Evaluating Play lectures. So I would encourage you to refer both to the textbook and those two lectures for additional help in completing this particular homework assignment. But the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to pick one of the two videos that's included on this page. So you're either going to watch Let's Play Kitchen or you're going to watch Dramatic Play. They're both short video clips of children engaged in dramatic play. It's not a video where they're explaining like why dramatic play is important, something like that. These are just videos of children playing. So it hopefully will avoid the issue of you having to go out and find children to watch engaging in dramatic play. But they are, it's hard to record children doing things in real time, so just be a little patient when you're watching the videos. So when you are watching this video, you're going to choose a child to focus on primarily, but you want to pick a child who's interacting with some of the other children. And as you're watching the video, just keep a running record. So if you've had your observation methodology class already, remember that a running record is when you are writing down everything that's happening as it's happening. So you shouldn't wait until after the video is over to try and write a summary of what was going on. You're trying to keep notes as the play is taking place. That would be a running record. So start with your running record. Then you're going to use that running record to complete the play checklist. So I'm going to be talking about the play checklist in our Observing Play lecture. So you can go to that lecture and listen to me talk about how to use the play checklist. But you can also read about how to use this play checklist in your H&H textbook. That's the textbook that I was mentioning up here. So that's the play, The Pathway from Theory to Practice text by Heidemann and Hewitt. So you're going to use that text and use the lectures. And the checklist has 10 different areas on it, and you're going to check the highest level thing that the child does. So each item goes in order from lowest level to highest level. So if you saw a child doing the highest level thing for each one of the 10 items, you're going to check the highest level thing that you saw. So you should have a check for each of the 10 items on the checklist. You shouldn't end this assignment with any of the items blank. And you will be looking in chapter 5 in the textbook if you need any help with that part. So the next thing you're going to do, so it's 4 steps. So you're going to watch one of the videos while taking a running record. You are going to be turning the running record in. Then you're going to complete the play checklist using your running record. You're going to turn that in. Then you're going to write a brief summary. This should only be about a page. And you can use headings and bullet points. It doesn't have to be like a paper with paragraphs. So you're going to describe as much as you can see about the child from watching the video. I know that some of it you're going to have to guess because it's a video. You don't know exactly, things about that child, but write what you can, assume from watching the video. You're going to write down where and with whom the observation video took place. So in a classroom, in a housekeeping area with 2 other children. That's really all you need to write. Then you're going to pick 2 items on the checklist where the child did well, so scored at the higher level. And you're also going to pick 2 items on the checklist where the child scored less well on the lower end of that particular item. So you're going to give me 2 things that the child seems to do well and 2 things that they might need to work on, and write down from the checklist. And if you go back to that lecture on observing play, I'm going to be talking about this and how you write that, but you'll write the item like uses imaginary language and then give an example of what they did, or only persists in play for a few minutes and give an example. So I gave you an example of what to write. So I gave you a little example of what you could write as a description, what the observation session was, what I mean by things that they do well, play skills, things that they need to work on, play deficits. And then finally, for this assignment, you're going to do um, piece number 4. You're going to complete the planning form. So I'm going to be talking about the planning form in the evaluating play lecture. It's also discussed in chapters 6 through 8 of the H&H textbook. It's a very simple form to complete. And basically, what you're doing is you're saying, hey, if the child has deficits or needs to work on something, what can I do to help them work on that particular thing? So if child only talks to themselves during play, what can I do to help them to talk to other children? So I don't want to help them practice the thing that they can already do. I want to help them practice the next skill coming in line. So you'll be turning in your running record, your play checklist, your one-page little report, and then also the planning form.